Howdy, howdy, howdy. Mic check 1 2 1 2. How are we doing? Ladies and gentlemen, I'd like to welcome you to the first Officer Bones channel. I'm going to go ahead and start off by testing my audio. Howdy, howdy, howdy. Mic check 1 2 1 2. How are we doing? Ladies and gentlemen, Alright, well, with that being said, we're going to go ahead and start everything up. So I'm going to go ahead and close out all of the tabs I don't need. And I'm going to go ahead and open up Microsoft Flight Sim. And we are going to start here. So, all right. So we are starting off here. If you don't know what we're doing today, I've started a series on this channel. It's called Callsign Tomball. We are a 135 charter development based out of Houston. And today we are going to be operating Tomball flight 954 service up to Baton Rouge. So I'm going to go ahead and mute that, get that quiet, get that shut, and we are going to start here. So let me go ahead and see what's going on with my MFS. I should have performed a restart here. Okay, that's good. Okay. All right. Anyway, let's go ahead and read off of the paper here. So I'm not going to waste any more of your time. We're just going to go ahead and take a look at the paperwork. So one thing about the charter operation, and one thing that differs, one way it differs from the 121 airline operation, is that we have to start off here in the briefing room. We got to thoroughly look over the paperwork first. Then we can run out to the jet and start moving switches. So we're not usually at 121 operations. You're going to be already down to the jet, flipping switches, briefing, doing all that good stuff. But here we're going to start off with the paperwork manifest. So we are Gulf Meridian Air LLC. This is going to be a multi-leg rotation. It's going to be about a week affair. We're going to be taking 247 Spindle out on the run here. And let me go ahead and shut off my game capture and shut down that noise there. There we go. That's just so you can hear me better. Okay. Anyway, today we are going to be taking some energy studies, some energy executives out to Baton Rouge, Louisiana for an LSU visit. So the mission today is going to be, we're going to be performing leg one today. We're going to be picking them up. We're going to go to the university academic research leads and energy executives at their Louisiana regional headquarters to finalize a joint private-public proposal. Once we leave out of once they get done with that, that should take about a day or two. They have hotels and whatnot there. We're going to transport them up to Midway. They're going to talk to some bankers, equity backers, etc. And they're going to come back down to Texas, where they belong. We have Dr. Charles Vance on board. He is a director LSU Center for Energy Studies. We have Monique Fontenot. She is the VP of Regulatory Affairs, and she'll be heading down to Baton Rouge with us today. Bradley Sterling, Senior Manager of Vanguard Energy Fund. I'm sure you recognize Vanguard. It's a huge private equity firm. You got Sarah Shen. She's a lead systems engineer at Grid Modern, and out. So this is our dispatch for today. We've got Houston, Lake Charles, TBD, and BTR. I kind of changed this here, as you can see. So as you'll see in a minute here. So that being said, we're going to talk about the financial side here real quick. Due to all the fees, 2 pilots, it's going to be 4 nights. They had to pay for all of this with the tap of a button. So that's one of our biggest features here at Gulf Meridian Air, is that they can purchase all of this, their whole flight, their whole affair, through the tap of a button on our Gulf Meridian Air website or Gulf Meridian Air app. So it's basically the Uber of the sky. So it makes microtransactions or big transactions like this, like 40 grand, very easy. It's like ordering a car. So basically, 40 grand, we're going to make about 40 grand off of this, maybe a little bit more. Just depends on what happens. We're climbing up to the cruising altitude of 350 for today. Here's our Sky Vector plan here. It's going to be a quick, simple one. I don't want to throw much in the box here, so this is what we got. We have the E-Loco departure. Right now, the weather, always start off with the weather. So right now, the weather here in Houston is going to be variable winds, 10 miles visibility. We have some broken clouds, 5,000, 250, 2987 on the altimeter. So it's clear skies, pretty much VFR conditions. There's no convective segments. I already checked the AWC. No bumps, completely clear. With that being said, we have clearer skies in Baton Rouge. Perfect hand flying weather, perfect visual weather. We'll see if we can get some hand flying down. We'll climb up nice and high to save some fuel, particularly 350. Let's see if we can get up there today, and we'll see if we can push about Mach 88 high speed jet. We're going to be starting off here down at, let me move up. Here we go, so you guys can see the chart. Okay, there we go. All right, we're going to be starting off here down at our, there we go, down at our hangars over here, down near 4. We're expecting to take off of runway, winds are variable, so 13 right. So we're expecting a taxi down Gulf. I don't brief taxiway instructions, but I'll give it to you there. I mean, it's really only one way out of here. We're going to be doing the El Loco 6, not to be confused with the El Dorado 6. That's one of the big little whoopsie daisies here at the Houston airport system, especially here at Houston Hobbies, that they have 2 L's. So one El Dorado and one E Loco. So it kind of has EL, and at the beginning of each, and it's kind of weird. Top altitude 16,000. We'll expect radar vectors to E Loco, where we'll get the White Lake transition. We have the White Lake transition. We'll get a direct towards Baton Rouge. Vectors for, we'll go in and do the ILS for Baton Rouge. It's just quick, simple, easy, plug and chug operation there. And we'll call it a day. We won't do anything fancy, no fancy RNAVs or anything like that. We'll save that for when we start flying out in the west here. I'll see if I can get a good picture, get the PDF to load here. Put this in the Acrobat here. And yeah, that's what we got. Which I'm gonna see if I can. I'll print this out off screen and kind of like tape it to my yoke here, so we're kind of like going old school, so I can look off the chart here. Other than that, I got nothing else for you. We'll go ahead and hop out into the aircraft. Our execs are they're a little bit late right now, so I'm going to. Sorry about that. Anyway, that being said, I'm going to go ahead and switch on over to Microsoft Flight Sim, and I'm going to load us in. I'm going to change your tail number, all that good stuff. Let me know if you guys have any questions, comments, or concerns. Just go ahead and drop that in the chat there if you would like, you got 247 TV. We're going to be taking Spindle out today, so we have two aircraft. One is named Houston 1, that is November 12 Tango Bravo, and then the other is named Spindle, and that is 247 Tango Bravo. So we'll be taking Spindle. They chose the more expensive aircraft, Spindle, because Spindle has she has Starlink Wi-Fi, so that's what makes Spindle a lot more expensive. It has Starlink Wi-Fi. It's the interior on it's a little bit nicer too, and has some of the better bells and whistles and whatnot connected. That being said, I'm going to go ahead and turn that on, and we are here. Okay, let me make sure that all my stuff is working. We'll turn up our game noise, and hello everybody, welcome aboard. All right, so this is beautiful Spindle. We will be taking her up to Baton Rouge, so we're going to open up the door and do some preliminary stuff. I'm going to go ahead and get the pins. So we're doing a pin check. The first officer will go out and perform a more thorough check, and they'll get the stuff like the chocks and do, check over all the minute details. I'm just going over and checking the big picture items here. Kind of just walk up and check all the pins. We're going to be using APU power today. Very rare on this channel. Or not on this channel, but very rare in this series will we ever use external power. I think it's a waste of money. Unless we have an in-op APU, which I hope we never get an in-op APU. But these jets are kind of old, so we may at some point get an in-op APU. Black screen. The one says, is the screen still black for you guys? It's showing up. Showing up fine for me. Let me know, Dewan. It might be on your side. Okay. There's the exit vane of the engine back there. You can see kind of the weird shaping there. Those kind of weird like vestigial lumps, you could say. It kind of those like little weird hills there. What those are for is for better diffusion of the exit air, causing the jet to be a little bit more quiet. So they help with noise as well as they kind of help with engine wobble too. So a little bit less loading on our pylons there. So not anymore. Okay, thank you. Thank you, Dewan. All right, so there we go. We're going to go ahead and walk in the jet, and I'm going to put my bags down, put our pins down, and I'm going to go ahead and grab my checklist. Ladies and gentlemen, so I made my own custom checklist for this aircraft, so if you do want it, I keep forgetting. I was going to put the link to it in the description because I made it, and you guys can have it, but I forgot. But if you do want it, just go ahead and let me know in the chat, or if you're watching the replay of this recording, go ahead and let me know in the chat, and I'll drop the link in the description. All right, so we're gonna check our circuit breakers, make sure those bad boys are in. And first things first, I'm going to get my checklist, put it on my lap, because this is a really big checklist. It's a book. So I made the checklist with instructions on how to staple the book together. Okay. I'm going to remove the yokes for now here. I'm going to move the pad Let's see if this. Oh, what happened? No. Okay. Let me move the pad here a little bit to the side. Kind of some housekeeping stuff. This is what it's all about, man. Over here, I'm gonna throw in our navgraph there. Navgraph stuff there. Okay. All right. So we are going to go ahead and get ready. So standby power is coming to on. So we'll test the standby power, turn it to on, verify it works. Let me make sure my sound is good. Okay, we're going to turn on our emergency lights to arm. Batteries 1 and 2 on. Once our batteries 1 and 2 are on, DC bus 1 and 2 are going to be in the, there we go, normal position. Cross tie, you got to verify that that is closed. It is. And if you come over here and start up your APU. So we're going to turn on our APU. Press start. You're going to start the loop, or you're going to test the loop. So you're testing the flare detection loop. You're testing all the lights on the panel, testing all the sensors, and we're going to press start. And we got to monitor that APU start and watch the APU start there. So we're waiting for that APU to come on here. Okay, so APU looks good. You got a good rotation. You're going to have some rollback there. DC volt. Check this out, guys. So if you're wondering why it's saying DC volt, but if you're wondering why it says DC volt output instead of AC volt output, you may be wondering why it says that, because, oftentimes when we think of mechanical spinning, alternators and whatnot, we're thinking of AC power. This is a DC primary aircraft, so it has a pretty much full DC power electrical grid with one inverter for its AC electrical grid, and I believe the AC power, if I remember correctly, it powers something. Forgot what it was, but I'll get back to you on that. Reset, we'll close the generator there. There we go. Generator closes. Avionics switch, we're going to turn it to on. We're going to turn on the ICAS. With that, we're going to turn on our IRs. This is an IR equipped, not an AHRS equipped aircraft. So we have actual physical inertial reference gyros there. So it adds a little bit of weight. You got to wait for them to align and maybe a little bit less reliable. So next up we have our FMS 1 and 2. We're going to verify position. We're going to take your GPS position there. And that's going to be the one that's loaded there. That's going to assist the IRs, the inertial references, and their alignment. Particularly, I can't speak. Particularly, yeah, I can't say that word today. I don't know. But yeah, in particular, the initial position reference of the IR. All right, parking brake is coming to a set. Wheel chocks, cabin door. I'm going to go ahead and close it. And we'll go ahead and run through this quick here, since our passengers are, I just got a call, our passengers just pulled up outside, and they're getting checked in right now. So exterior lights are as required. So we're going to go over to our exterior lights. We're going to turn on our nav lights, turn on passenger signs, all that good stuff. ICAS will get good. We're going to do a FMS pre-flight here. So let's run through it. Flight plan, Houston. Let's see if we can uplink it. I forgot how to uplink. Either way, let's just hand mash it. Whatever. It's so close. So quick of a route that we can just hand mash it. BTR. We're going to be doing a departure out of here. Runway 13 right. I have the eLoco 6 departure with the white light transition. We're going to go ahead and look through that. Before we do that, we're going to go to our, not our departure page, sorry. Correction, we're going to go to, where was it? Never mind. Okay, we're good. I had to check something. All right. Okay, so that looks good, looks good. I'm going to put us into plan mode on our display here. Do we have a plan mode? Where do I... MFD... Figure out how to put this thing in plan mode. I know there's a way. I did a while back, putting the moving map into plan mode there. Interesting. Okay. Well, we will continue here. I'm going to turn up the brightness on this thing. Turn up the brightness. This cockpit would be kind of dusty because this aircraft hasn't been used in a minute. But either way, it looks good. I got the Discon. That's for the radar vectors. eLoco, Yoakum, Sabine, White Lake. And yeah, looks good to me. We're going to go to nav here. We're going to go to... Oh, that's how you do it. That's how you do it. Flight plan recall. Okay. All right. Sabine, we're going to go to arrival runway. I have 22 right ILS, 22 right vectors. All right, we'll activate it. And that's her deal there. That's all she wrote for the route. Beautiful. Punch and go. Okay, I got full performance. I got 247 Tango Bravo. Looks good. We're going to be climbing 300.88. Let's go 0.88 there. 0.88. We go 0.88 in the descent. Oh yeah, we're all about fuel efficiency here. Flight plan limit is 290.350. We're going east, so we got to go odd. That's fine. 290.180. There, IC deviation -1. That is, yeah, that'll plus. Let's see, plus 11. There we go. ICD plus 11. Speed limit 250 under 10,000. 10,000. Okay. We're going to check out our fuel here. Before we do that, that reminds me we got to fill this thing up. So we're going to import from SimBrief. And we got 4889 on the fuel. Pricey. And we got 4 passengers. We got 2 pilots here, so we'll go there. Yeah, 48901. So see if we got them in the tanks here. Yeah. Okay. I'm gonna put 4,900. As a matter of fact, we'll just uplink it because we do have a dispatch center. So we can just uplink our weights here and we'll cross-check them. And that saves us a lot of time. So we do have a dispatch center. Our dispatch center, if you're wondering, is over there. It's in that building over there. So we got a dispatcher. Her name is Sarah. She's gonna send us. She's on her laptop, or she's on her desktop right now, sending us our weights. So cool. All right, confirm. Looks good. Descent 30. Looks good. Good. Trying to run through this because I know I have a habit of sitting on the ground for like an hour. All right. We got dry runway. Good density, altitude, slope good. Width 148. Threshold 1. We got 1,198. Yep. Okay, anti-ice is going to be off. We're going to be doing a flaps 15 takeoff. That's a standard takeoff here at Gulf Meridian. Takeoff weight is 28,084. 28,084. Where does that put us? Okay, 28,084. Looks good. Looks good. Good. We're gonna go next. There's our V speeds. Sarah, given to us by Sarah herself. So 119er, 112, 128 is our V speeds. I agree. We're gonna continue to climb. 290, 0.88, cruise 0.84. One is 0.88, and descent looks good. Good. Landing, good. We will worry about later. So we're going to leave you on takeoff here. And it has already been confirmed. I'm going to confirm it again. And takeoff data. We're going to leave this guy's FO side on the legs page. The first set of passengers are already getting on right now. So FMS pre-flight has been completed. Flight instruments and avionics. We're going to do an instrument check. So we're going to come through. We're going to test our oxygen. We're going to come over here. Look at our passenger oxygen. Make sure that's auto. Good. I'm going to move this thing. I'm going to close it. All right. Come over here. First things first, you want to check that your lights are good. So we are going to turn up our lights. There we go. Looks good. Okay. And then cockpit voice recorder, we test that, which that doesn't work in this plane for some reason. All right. We're going to get our lights here. Lights. Lights look good. Let's get out of here. So we're going to look at our instruments. I got same attitudes, good air speeds, no ground speeds, so no IRS drift, same altitudes. Our altimeter, our setting for today is going to be 987, 87, 87, and 87. Okay. 87, I got standby attitude gyro set. CDI is to FMS 1 ounce. I got 16,000 on our top altitude for today. Set heading. We are going to be we're going to have an initial heading of Kilo Hotel Oscar Uniform. I believe it's let's scroll to 130. Yep. It's me. 131. It says it down here. You gotta make sure these two are matching. Okay, 131 looks good. Good. Okay, engine indications are looking good. We want to make sure that we got good amount of oil. Oil's in the, oil temperatures in the green. There. Oh, pressure should be 0. That's good. Flaps should be up. Come up here, make sure that our autopilot panel looks good. Yaw dampers on A. Should be on upper rudder. And our instrument scan is complete. North. All right. Instrument scan is complete. I got V speeds. They're set and confirmed. And I'm going to perform our departure brief here. Departure brief, I'll be piloted in command. In the event we have to transfer controls, I will say I have controls. You will respond with you have controls. I will again respond with my controls. If in the event of an undesired aircraft state, like nose high, nose low, we'll push or pull the yoke. So hold the attitude, roll the aircraft back to wings level. Apply thrust, adequate thrust that meets the situation, stabilize the aircraft after. If we have a failure below 80 knots, anything, any cautions in the low speed regime, we'll just stop the aircraft, let the back know, contact dispatcher, and go on. If it's something really bad, then we'll evacuate on the runway. 80 or above, we're only stopping for fire, fuel, or shear. And in the automation that I'm expecting here after departure is going to be simple autopilot heading select in out. Weather looks good. We talked about weight and balance. Fuel management looks good. Fuel on board is 4,900. FMS routing, we talked about that. Taxiway conditions are dry. For the SID, we have the E-Loco 6 departure top altitude 16,000 radar vectors. E-Loco minimum climb is 500 per nautical mile up to 560. And we have Chippy, Grippy, Yoakum, Sabine Pass, White Lake VOR. Any questions, comments, or concerns? Nope. All right. And I made that brief to be nice and quick so we can get out of here on time. Okay. With that being said, our passengers are on board, so we're going to go ahead and close that door up, and we're going to get the heck out of here. How quick was that? All right, we're going to get the chocks, main doors all closed. We're burning APU gas. I'm going to close the doors. That's going to signify that we are busy. The passengers did not, the passengers selected us to not bother them with a non-critical PA, so we don't have to make our PA today. We're also going to run through our caution test here. Okay, and then after that, we're going to do our before start checklist. We're going to check all of our stuff here. Our starting engine checklist. We don't get a before start checklist. We get a starting engine checklist because it's a redo checklist. Remember, we are doing read do checklist only. So, since this is a 135 sim. While we're at it here, I'm sorry guys, I gotta make sure my controls are binded up, so. Okay. Okay. Controls are binded up. Starting engines now. So APU, we're going to go ahead and throw on our bleed air. So we're going to go bleed air. Let the cabin cool momentarily here. Just gives us cold air for our recirc fans to recirc. So they're not recirculating hot body air. Okay, we're going to shut it off. Shut it back, turn it back to on. Pack's coming off. Isolation valve open. And we're going to start up number 2. Ladies and gentlemen, let me know if it's a little bit too loud here. So, and we'll start up number 2 here. Okay, number 2 starting N2 rotation. There's 18 starting. We're gonna push it up. If you're too late on the thrust introduction, what can happen is the engine could roll back automatically. The FADEC is actually designed to roll the engine back automatically. We go. ITT is rising. Front fan spinning. See if we can get a roll back here. Good, good, good. Good motor. Alright, first thing we're going to check is our hydraulic pressure. If you hear that in the background, that dog barking in the background, it's not my dog. That's the PTU. So we're going to come over to our System A here, and we're going to test, and we're going to check the pressure. So this is our System A pump. It's a DC-driven radial rotor pump, and that pressurizes our A line there. You should hear it screaming in the background there. Cause a little bit of vibration in the cabin, but that's going to stabilize our A line. That's good. And with that being said, we're going to go ahead and start up number 1. There's 18, throw them up. Here comes fuel. And I got a passive master warning there. That's because this airplane's old. And so the airplane, not sure what that was, but we'll just blame it on the airplane being old. All right. Hydraulic pressure, I got 31,000, 31,000. That's usually where Spindle likes to sit. She likes to sit at 31,000 each line. I think when this aircraft got a maintenance overhaul, it had its pumps repaired. It had its pumps completely changed out there, so the line is a little bit more efficient than it is on Houston 1, our other tail number, which likes to sit usually at 3,000, dips to 2,900 every now and then, but that's good. Okay, generators, we're going to check that those puppies are on. We're going to go reset. We're going to go cross tie is good. We're going to make sure that our ground service or our ground air service or GPU is disconnected, and our APU and APU bleed air are going to come off. So shut off the bleed air, and we're going to throw off our APU here. And you do not want to turn off the ECB or the master until the APU is completely shut down. While that's happening, we're going to get our pack isolation valve to open. Sorry, wrong page. Correction. Okay, we're going to do a wing slat and crossflow pumping purge. So in this aircraft, you have a weird procedure where we have to purge the anti-ice lines. And by purge, meaning that we're purging it of FOD, foreign object debris. So wing crossover, how we do it here, and it's kind of weird, so I'll show you guys. Wing crossover is going to be to norm. We get our cockpit pack, and we're turning it to off. For bleed demand, right engine bleed air, we're going to, well, we're going to turn our slat anti-ice to on first. Okay. Slat anti-ice is to on. AI on slat. And then our right air engine bleed to off. With our right air engine bleed to off, we're going to turn on our wing crossover valve. That's going to turn on our crossover line. So now air is now bleeding from our left manifold over a cross valve line to both of our wings. With that being said, we're going to go ahead and turn the crossover valve to norm, the slat anti-ice to off, and the cockpit pack to on. We're going to close the isolation valve and turn on the right side of the system. All right, we're going to do a before taxi check here. So we are going to go get our flaps and slats to 15 here. So I'm going to go 15, 15s. We'll do a flight control test here. So we had our flight control test. Control page up, elevators, pull up, pull down, left and right with the rudder, left and right. Okay, and you want to make sure that our rudder stays centered. Well, which it's not because I had my feet on them. Rudder stays centered with flaps upon flap extension, because the rudder control travel limiting mechanism logic changes when we have our flaps extended versus when we have our flaps retracted. Speed brakes are going to be checked. We're going to check our speed brakes. We like to check our speed brakes here in the corporate world. It's a little cool thing we like to do. IRs are showing no flags. ICAS is going to be clear and check. We got no takeoff, and that no takeoff there is because we don't have our trim. Here at Gulf Meridian Air, we don't actually get official trim numbers. We can, as long as it's in the green, we are okay for takeoff. So that's a little cool little policy there. It saves us time. Trim doesn't really matter much unless you're taking off on a short runway. Most aircraft like the Citation X with non-reversible boosted flight controls, the rotations feel the same regardless of trim setting here. Okay, standby gyros are good. Anti-ice is checked. Pressurization, we're going to check that now. We're going up to an altitude. Bear with me, guys. I gotta reach over. Okay, going up to cruising altitude about there. Okay. Looks good. And we'll get our rate limiter there to there. Okay. All right. Pressurization check and passenger advisory lights have been already checked. With that being said, we're good for taxi. So taxi light, we're going to go taxi light on. That's down here. Taxi light on. Brakes, we're going to go ahead and release. We're going to check our brakes, turn on the nose wheel steering. That's going to make sure we're going to check our nose wheel steering. Sorry. We're going to check our reversers when available, and then flight instruments. All right, and that's how you start a citation, guys. Yeah, it's a lot of checklists. It's a lot of redo. It's not like the airlines where you can just go and start flipping switches. So you actually have to read off of the checklist and do what it says. So we're going to go clear left, clear right, brakes release. We're going to come around here. Use differential thrust. Oops. Well, I just tested our reversers on accident, but there's our reversers. Let's see. Does it want to get out of reverse? I got 6 lights on the reversers. That's good. That was it's kind of not what you're supposed to do there. Let's see what we got here. Might have to change. It might be a keybind issue. No, it's not. Okay. Yeah, it might be a keybind issue. Let's see. All right, I'm going to go in here and change it real quick. What I'm going to do is I'm going to, because I set a reverser toggle here. You see how it, yeah. There we go. I keep deploying, that sucks. Alright, I'm going to clear out that binding I have here. Stand by, it's going to take about 2 seconds. I got it. Clear out reverser. Delete it. All right. Now, why exactly are my reversers deploying? This is why you get SPADX, guys. But then again, you shouldn't have to pay money for something that should work in the first place here. So we are going to... I know how to fix this. It's just a matter of going to our reversers. Welcome to Microsoft Flight Simulator 2024, where stuff like this happens, where they did not give 2 craps about anybody's bindings or how they work. Okay, come on. So what I'm going to do here is I'm actually going to change the binding for it all together here. So I'm going to go toggle reverser. I know this would take 2 seconds. I know exactly why why I'm running into this issue. So my reversers are out, but it's moving forward. Whatever. We'll go with it. Welcome to MFSS Microsoft Flight Sim 2024, guys. Alright, hold on. Welcome to my world. Welcome to the sim, man. Okay, Piper Warrior. It wants to, like... Okay, there we go. There we go. Okay, perfect. Alright, we're moving. Alright, looking good. Okay. Taking a little longer than 2 seconds. Yeah, well, shut up. Shut up. It was a issue with... Welcome to Microsoft Flight Sim, man. Don't we just love when they don't give 2 craps about people's bindings? But no, we can make a bunch of promises we can't keep. Whatever. Whatever, man. I'm yes, you could say I'm raging a bit. One thing about these business jet add-ons is I haven't tried the Phenom yet, but one thing about these business jet add-ons is that they taxi like crap. There, yeah, you can see this is. There we go. All right. Anyway, I'm gonna stop. I don't know. Stop doing what I'm doing here, and I'm going to go ahead. I'm going to see. We're gonna go ahead and get moving here down our taxiway. Kind of refresh. Kind of take a deep breath and continue on there. Don't let technical disruptions make or break your flight there. So all right, anyway, here, keep on taxiing, get moving. I'm going to taxi a little bit fast here today. We're going to get on the yellow line here. I'm doing 10 things at once. I'm going to get a scenery for this airport. You can see it's kind of, it looks kind of sucky outside. I know. We'll be I'm trying to taxi fast and get us out of here as quick as possible here because the scenery is not good. I thought I had a scenery. I think I actually had a scenery for for Intercontinental, not here, but anyway. All right, I'm gonna do a takeoff brief here. Runway, we're taking off of 13 right. Altitude, top altitude 16,000. Altitude airspeed restrictions none. Altimeter setting 9087. No threat for wind shear. Okay. And takeoff checklist. Anti-ice. No anti-ice. Flaps and slats. I got set 15. Speed brakes are retracted. Trims are set for takeoff. Yaw damper in Mach trim is on. Crew briefing is complete. Takeoff imminent. We're going to turn on our radar. TARA. Left and right pitot static anti-ices are coming on. Engine instruments have been checked and ICAO has been checked. Okay. All right. Takeoff. Let's go. Clear left and clear right. We're not taking off on whatever it says. It says 17. We're taking off on 13 right here. That's my scenery. My bad. All right. Landing lights coming on. Recog. Move them up. Get the flood on. And that's what I get for looking down. I got a heavy left foot. Oh, it says 13 right over there, but not over. Whatever. I'm sick of this thing. Let's get out of here. All right. 13 right. No RAS. We're going to put TOTO. Click these buttons, get TOTO up. Auto throttle. Okay, thrust set. $80. V1, rotate. V2, positive rate, gear. 400, it flaps up. Go ahead and give me level change. Heading select. And I'm going to go ahead and get a direct here. Direct to eLoco. I got eLoco nav, VNav, V flight level change, LNav. I got a left turn, passing through 200 knots now. We're 3,000 for 6,000. Okay. Look at that. That's beautiful. Guys, that's I'm going to turn on the autopilot now. Autopilot. Look at that. That is gorgeous. We're passing over Ellington Air Force Base right now. Over here is the somewhere down here. It should be over here somewhere is the Texas Flight Museum. So that's where FS Expo was held a couple years ago. You have Baytown here. So this is the little bay. You got Texas City over there. Absolutely gorgeous. Look at that thing. Gulf Meridian. Beautiful. Beautiful machine. All right. Get back in the airplane here. And do an after takeoff check here. So landing gear up, flaps and slats, or bats are on. Throttles are in the climb detent. I got anti-ice is off, not required. We're going to sync it, the engine sync to the fans there. Back advisory lights, we're going to turn those to off. Or passenger safety. Altimeters, we'll set those at 18,000, and then once we pass through 18,000, we get our exterior lights off. Just like that. There's 10. Beautiful. Looking good. It's just a gorgeous jet, man. Citation, man. I know the Phenom is, you know, the new kid on the block, but Citation, man, it never gets old. People really forgot about this Citation ever since the Phenom came out. And then we have another jet. It's called the Citation Sovereign. We don't have enough money though for a Phenom just yet. I got to look up our financials and look up how much a Phenom would cost. I don't think we have enough money for a Phenom. Heck, we don't even have enough money for a PC-24, so we're going to actually have to grind out in the Citation X for the next couple of streams. And maybe if we grind out for the next couple of streams, we'll make enough dough to buy a Phenom. I'll keep you guys updated on the financial situation. I'll give out a financial report every now and then. But yeah, we don't have enough dough for the Phenom, so. But it's a beautiful looking airplane. Give you that, and I would be more than glad to have it in my fleet. Okay, 15,000 for 16,000. I'm going to go ahead and arm up our next out, which is 290. Look at that, she's climbing out on 300. Rocket ship. Scrolled a little bit too far there. Climbing out, climbing out. Beautiful. Loving this airplane, guys. How about you guys? What's y'all's favorite business jet in the sim right now? Do you guys like the Phenom, the Citation, PC-24? I feel like the PC-24 would be absolutely unstoppable if it had, if it got, you know, the 787 treatment, where it had some type of major overhaul, update, or some third-party developer used the PC-24 base to make an absolute banger add-on. That would be awesome. I feel like the PC-24 does have some potential, but obviously it's a default aircraft, so there's a stigma around that. 18,000 here. We're going to go ahead and standard 902, 902, and 902. There are lights, which the lights we turn off is going to be our flight. Everything else stays on. All right. Beautiful. Look at that. I'll leave you guys with a nice little outside view there. Beautiful business jet right there. I got our LED landing lights on. It should be off. Oh, those are recogs. Yeah. We'll leave our recogs on, actually. Just burn them out. Burn out those bulbs. Love me some business jets, man. Love me some business jets. All right. Okay. Climbing out here up to cruising altitude. We got Yoakum. We got our distance here. Flight plan, perf. We got well, you don't want to go through that. Oh. One cool thing about this aircraft is you get a tune. You do have a tune panel or tune page in your CDU there, so that's pretty cool. We'll go ahead and get ready for arrival here. Oh, let's see, progress page. We're about 190. Okay. Top of descent, top of drop is going to be right over LLA. So I'm going to take a look here at our flight plan. Sabine, LLA. So I guess we could just be... I guess what we could do here is we'll go ahead and just review our... we'll do our approach brief right now. I mean, I'm already set up. We already briefed everything while in the briefing room. So if you guys are comfortable with that, we'll go ahead and just brief what we got now. You know, nothing unsafe about that. That's perfectly fine. So I'll go ahead and do our brief here. We use 28 for 290, so 280 for 290. We go ahead and use our my acronym I made here. I call it it's NATS. Well, I didn't make this an acronym. I made the takeoff brief acronym, which is RAW, RW, or RAAW. But anyway, we use NATS for arrival. That's going to be NOTAMs, arrival, weather, the approach plate, terrain, and specials. So for the NOTAMs look good in Baton Rouge. Nothing out of the ordinary for BTR. For the arrival here, for the ATIS here, we'll say. Let's take a look at the weather here. No way. Let's see here. Take a look. There's the bayou. Right now the weather in BTR is 360 at 6. So a little bit quartering tail. Nothing out of the ordinary. Got 10 miles visibility, clear skies, 33 degrees on the weather. Niner 8. 8 is our altimeter. So good weather and flying weather. Visual weather. So love it. We'll brief the approach plate here. I'm just going to go ahead and speed brief this since obviously the aircraft's going to auto-tune most of this, and not only auto-tune most of this, but we're doing the visual. So we're going to do the visual ILS backup here. But let me go into the tune page, make sure it has it ready. Okay, so we're a little bit far out, but we'll have it tuned here in a second. For the arrival, frequencies are 108.7, approach course 223 if you need it. Airport elevation is going to be 70. Chicken 22 right, poppies off the left side. Yeah, we do have the local altimeter. None of the notes apply to us. For the misapproach, if we have to do the published, it's a climb 600, then right turn direct LSU VOR. We're probably not. We'll probably expect a heading altitude. I got 19,000 to the north, 2,800 to the south for the MSA. For the minimums, it's going to be 270, so we'll set that. Again, we're not really going to need that, but we'll set it anyway. $270. Initial altitude, we'll scroll down. That initial altitude there, it's going to be 1,900. Yeah, 1,900 there. And other than that, any questions, comments, or concerns on the plate brief? Got no terrain in the area. Taxiway conditions are dry. No specials. We'll be parking here in Baton Rouge at the Signature. So once we land 22 right, we take a right, and we'll take a right and we'll park at the signature. Any questions on that? Nope. Our current weight is now arrival. We'll go to pause. We'll go to go to landing here. Got 22 right, 223 on the degrees. Good. Outside air temperature is 33. Surface winds are 360 at 6. Elevation is 6. Good slope, dry. Anti-ice, flaps 35 landing, standard. Anti-ice off, off, off. And for our landing data, we should be getting skip through it. Passed it up. Cool thing about the premise is that if you you miss where you're trying to go, well, you gotta go back through all the other pages and landing data. There we go. VAP is gonna be 124 and VREF is gonna be 119er. And got no specials for you. Any questions on that? All right. So approach brief. Landing data has been confirmed. Looks good. All right. Okay, so we're gonna go ahead and get ready to start down here. And here in a second, and get down into Baton Rouge, drop these guys off at LSU. And once we land in LSU, we'll leave the jet here for about a day or so because they have some business to do. And we'll take them up to Chicago. While this is happening, Houston 1 is actually being taken out to Monterey. So Monterey, California, and back. That's for a charter. That's for an executive vacation charter, actually. So they're going to Monterey, and they're coming back. So that alone is going to cost that alone is going to give us 60 grand plus this. We made about 100 grand in 2 days. So good money. Good money. Yep. All right. Ladies and gentlemen, we will get ready to descend. All right, so we have to do our PA. Ladies and gentlemen, we will be landing in 20 minutes. Landing in 20 minutes. Okay. So we'll send a message to our dispatcher. So through here, we'd be landing 20 minutes there, and we'd send our report to our dispatcher. Houston 1 just landed in Monterrey, Mexico right now. So for our first day in operation, we had 2 jets in the sky at the same time. Very cool. Alright, so you're going to see some of the logic change. We got 1/9,000 magenta. Magenta means arm. As well as, let me change this. As well as you're going to get your vertical error there. Your vertical flight path there. Your profile. Yeah, and thrust is going to come back there. It's going to intercept our glide path angle. Or not glide path angle, or descent angle. And send on down. So you can see speed descent, VNAV path, LNAV. All right. Heading on down. This is lots of fun, man. It's going to be fun, man. It's going to be a grind. I don't expect this. I don't expect to, you know, pull things out of my ass and, you know, get a bunch of money and a bunch of planes out of nowhere. I expect to build an airline realistically, or a 135 charter airline realistically, and go through all the steps and work hard and all that. That's why we can't buy a Phenom right now, because it's just way too expensive, you know. So, yeah, anyway, we're descending through 240. I'm going to get my screens up. I know you guys probably can't see them on YouTube too. Yeah, my bad. We'll turn them up. There we go. These are LCDs, so they should be LCDs. At least. Let's see. Yeah. They're LCDs, so they burn. They're a little bit cooler. So you can have them up bright like this and not burn them. Starting to sound like Jason, but yeah. What would you're dealing with a lot of resources, right? Airlines inherently are low margin companies, right? We work on very, very thin margins. Like very, very thin. From, the plane, the fuel, all the stuff that goes into running an airline, right? You don't have a lot. You're not making a lot of profit, right? Not a high profit margin. That's why you see these airlines like Delta and United, pretty much every airline out there, even Breeze, even Avelo, they have some sort of like loyalty or card program, some credit card program, and something on the side Allegiant owns hotels and resorts, you know, because they're just you just don't make a lot of money. Don't slam this old plane down. It can't take it. Yeah, it probably can't. No, you're right, the one. It probably can't. It's an old airplane. 2988 is our altimeters here. Yeah, Spindle is a old bird. This aircraft originally had CRTs in it, so it's old. It's old. Who knows? But it did have a pretty heavy overhaul when we first got it, which was what took out most of our cash. Was these overhauls, and these maintenance, dude, these airplanes. That's what kind of makes me want to buy that Phenom, man. It's because I know if it's new, or if it's newer. There are still some pretty old Phenom 300s out there, right? But I know if it's newer, it might cost a little less to run. You know, it might cost a little bit less on maintenance. I guess I'd have to look into it. But we'll see if we can get that Phenom. Or the Citation Sovereign. Who knows? Okay, I got 18000. Got 9088, 9088, 9088. Approach con. Approach checklist here. Crew briefing is complete. Avionics flight instruments check. Minimums 270 set. Fuel cross feed is off. Fuel is balanced. Exterior lights are set. Flaps and slats are as required. Passengers have been briefed. PAX advisory lights are going to be on. Right and left ignition is in norm. Pressurization has been checked. Engine sync is coming off at 10,000 feet. All right, terrain. There we go. There are landing speeds up there. Auto, make sure that's an auto. Okay. Do a quick check through of our systems here. Make sure hydraulic systems are good. Tanks are good. Engine. Not going to need any maintenance. Battery. And start pressure. Leave it on norm here. Okay, 10,000, engine sync to off. How did you get 954? That's what the dispatcher gave us. That's what they gave us, 954, just random number. Yeah. It's better than Tomball 1. Speaking of Tomball, let's see if we can I'll get us some VATSIM going next flight. I didn't have enough time to set up VATSIM this flight, but what we can do is we can... I don't want to start spawning stuff in. Actually, never mind. Yeah, I don't want to start spawning stuff in while the sim is running, because that's how you get issues. Coming down on the descent now. Passenger 10. That's how she flies there. Below 250. Just smooth sailing, man. I'm telling you, these business jets are just a different breed, man. They're just awesome. All right. We got 2-2, so we are going to... There's Furno. They have us direct Fernie. Okay. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take over on the heading. We'll wait till we're a little bit closer. So there's a BTR out there, outside. Let's see if we can find LSU. I know there's a bridge that you have to cross. And you can see LSU. You cross over the bayou. I think LSU is... So there's the bridge. I believe LSU... Yep, there's the stadium. The baseball field is somewhere over there. So there's LSU. I'm in the bath looking at your stream, by the way. Awesome. Awesome. And that's the best way to watch my streams, man. That is the best way to do it. We'll go heading select here. We'll go level change down. And 040, so that will set us up on a downwind. Look at this thing slip down, man. You can't do this in an airliner, man. Look at that. Look at the descent. Look at the performance. I'm going to pull out my speed brake here. I'm just going to see it. Look at that. There's a shake. Watch it get down. Disengage VNav here. It'll go level change. Look at that. You can't do that in no airliner. Holy hell. Holy hell. Okay. I don't like... That's a little bit too much there. I'm going to go ahead and take over here. My aircraft. That's an upset. I got 3,000 for 2. Autopilot coming back on. Okay, my vertical speed. Alright, I'll hand fly us down. I don't think it likes, yeah, it went MD-80 mode on us. Alright, there we go. There we go. It's going to want to catch 1/900,000 there. Out. There we go. 250 plus 10. And we're going to go ahead and get our speed down here. We'll go manual. My speed. I'll just go ahead and set VREF. Or VAP 123. This is how we do it here in here at Gulf Meridian here. So we're just going to go ahead and scroll down the app and just let the airspeed come down. Some will say this is a little bit aggressive, which it is, but it saves us a bunch of fuel. So there we go. Get our slats out. As a matter of fact, I'll keep that speed up. Keep that speed up. Keep that speed up 170. Okay, I got 108.7, 108.7 auto tune, and looks good to me. We'll go ahead and turn in. We get approach mode going. Turn in, we're above 19er. We're at 19,000. That's our glide slope intercept altitude there. Okay, I got Loke. AL glide slope arm. So white means armed. We're going to scroll back on the airspeed here. And we'll set V out. Go flaps 15. And full. Okay, before landing checklist, gotta get our gear down. Okay, gear down, yeah, flaps full, speed brakes are in, retracted, ICAO. Okay, so cool thing about this airplane is that it does not have an auto spoiler function. So once we kiss our main gears down, okay, I'm gonna give us a little bit of buffer there. No. I don't like that. Let's give us a little bit up. Okay, there we go. All right, once our main gears kiss, we'll say down, spoilers up. We'll say down. I'll pull up my speed brakes. So I'll pull back on the lever manually, and then we'll verify speed brake extension on the ICAO and slow the aircraft down. For the land, I'm gonna go ahead and rechange my binding. Let's hope this doesn't deploy the reversers mid-flight here. That'll be a catastrophe. So let's see if that works. Change it to RJ. Okay, got no reverser deployment. Okay, there we go. Here's a glide slope. Two white, two red on the poppies. You know what? It's beautiful hand flying weather. Why am I flying it with the autopilot on, man? What do I look like, an Airbus guy? I am an Airbus guy, but 1,000. We're stable. Good airspeed, good sync. 2 white, 2 red on the poppies, soon to be medium rare. Okay, 500. Stable. A little bit high. Like I said, soon to be medium rare. Okay. Sinks in check. Over the fence, auto throttle off. Okay, down. Spoilers. And I got no reverse thrust, my brakes. Awesome. Welcome to Baton Rouge. Current time is 5:56 p.m. All right. Okay, after landing, reverser stowed. I got speed brakes coming in. I got transponder set. Pitot stack anti-ice coming off external lights. All right, ladies and gentlemen, that will we'll go ahead and park right here. Well, actually, here's what we'll do. We will park right here. So we'll say there's a marshaller there. Let Susan know we're wheels down. FO would be down in the box. Their limousine is going to be ready to pick them up. And then we have our separate crew van, which is actually just an Uber. So what we're going to do as pilots, we're going to walk to the GA spot, the terminal, and just call an Uber to our hotel there. All right, I'm going to set brakes. Okay. Parking brake is set. Anti-ice is all off. IRs are coming off. PAC 6 visor lights are off. Standby gyros caged. And we're going to shut down our engines. Here we go. And 2. We're not going to start our APU. You know why? Because that's a waste of money. We'll just run the bats. There. So our engine's got enough time to cool there. Shut down our engines. Do not start the APU. That's too much money. We don't have APU money here. And with that, we'll continue to shut down. Engines are off. Avionics power and ICAS, we'll turn those to off. These are LCDs, so they won't heat. It's a phenomenon called soak back, so they won't suffer from soak back. Cross flow valve is closed. APU is off. Batteries 1 and 2 and standby power coming off. Coming off. So we turn the airplane off immediately. We're going to have our door open here. And we'll do a post-flight. Open the luggage door for them. We're going to do a post-flight walk around here. So, first officer would be blocking the cockpit. Of course, the limousine would be out front of the aircraft, so first officer would be blocking the cockpit. I, as the captain, would be sitting here, got my foot up on the stair. Thank you for flying with us. Thank you for flying with us. Goodbye. Goodbye. See ya. Okay. And if you're wondering why I still have my slats extended, that is correct. I should have had actually. Here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to throw it back on my battery. Should be to the slat extended position. So at airports away from base, we leave our slats out so we can inspect them in the event of icing. So let me turn back on. I'm going to turn on our A pump. Flaps should come up now. Okay. Do a post-flight walk around. Check our stuff. Make sure our chocks are on. Looks good. Landing light's not dented. Yeah. Make sure our slats are good. Flaps should be up. Looks good. Put back on our intake covers. That's to prevent all that corrosion and moisture from getting in the engines. Okay, flight attendant helped with the luggage, so she'll close that when she's done. This jet is actually huge in real life. It's actually pretty big jet. So, okay, once we're done with our post-flight walk around, we're going to verify. We're going to turn on our battery lights, standby power, ICAS if you need it. We're going to verify that no passengers or crew members, service members, whomever is around the aircraft. So we just checked, and we are going to turn on our anti-collision lights, turn on our slats here, or retract our slats. So our slats are hydraulically actuated. So we need our system A pump on. Okay, system pump A pump comes off. Slats are retracted. Anti-collision light off. Standby power off. Batteries off. And that'll do. That'll do for the first Gulf Meridian Air charter flight. Technically, our first revenue flight was by Gulf Meridian Air Tomball 21, which was heading up to Monterey, California, which they just landed about an hour ago. But this is pretty much our first streamed revenue flight there, and Spindle. Starlink Wi-Fi did us good today, and with that being said, I'll leave you at that. Thank you for flying with Gulf Meridian Air today. Thank you for choosing First Officer Bones as your form of entertainment today. I got to run. And with that being said, thank you for choosing me today, and see you guys.